The CW was sold because it was a failure. They were pumping out shows that no one was watching, they missed the audiences they wanted to target, and the network had never been profitable. But we didn't know just how much money they were losing when it was purchased by Nexstar, but now we see that it was losing them $500 million a year. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or support the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So this is a CBR article. It says the CW was losing $2 for every dollar it earned. We knew that the CW was a massive failure. That's why they wanted to sell it off. They just couldn't figure out a way to make it profitable. But now we have a very good picture of how terribly it was doing. So it says the CW, home of popular television franchises like the Arrowverse, Supernatural, and the Vampire Diaries, was reportedly losing double what it earned prior to its sale in mid-2022. I say this all of the time, but I did like the Arrowverse at first. Arrow was a great show for the first couple of seasons. The Flash was the same. I never really caught on with Legends of Tomorrow. It never really captivated me, but it was all right. And then they started adding things in like Supergirl, which Supergirl had very questionable dialogue. I did watch season 1. It was okay, but then as it went on, it got much worse. And then they started adding things on like Batwoman, and the Arrowverse just went downhill. It made me so sad because the first couple of seasons of Flash and Arrow were fantastic in my opinion. I think that they really nailed the actors, but they got very lazy when they saw that it was popular. They figured they could cut corners, they, could put out less episodes in a season, they could put less money into things like CGI, they didn't want to pay any side actors, and then they chose the worst of the worst. And then the quality went downhill. It made me very sad, but the Arrowverse was okay at first. It says, though, per The Hollywood Reporter, an analysis of the new owner Nexstar's SEC filings for this quarter in 21 to 22 confirmed the CW had a quarterly revenue of about $100 million for an estimated annual total of between $370 million and $405 million, which doesn't sound that bad until you hear about the losses. It says the annual losses were between 300 and 400 million, and there are reports saying that there were quarters that were even higher than that. It says while the CW never made a profit since its creation in 2006, these figures mean that the network could have started costing almost $2 for every dollar it made for owners Paramount in Warner Brothers Discovery. So it is right under the $500 million mark in annual losses, which is terrible for them. I mean, they were losing an insane amount of money. And when Nexstar had announced the acquisition, we did hear that they never were profitable. They had lost a lot of money, but we didn't know how much money until right now. And it is way worse than I think a lot of us anticipated. The article says shortly after acquiring the CW, Nexstar began announcing big changes for the network. Per the deal they made, it will continue airing 12 scripted shows produced by the previous owners for at least a year, including Superman and Lois, Walker Independence, and the Winchesters. I really like Superman and Lois. We have heard some rumors that it will get scrapped now because it, again, is probably not profitable for them, which makes me so sad because it was actually pretty good, but I don't even know if it would really survive. We know that actors have left the project and they have to recast specific characters going into the next season, which is very sad, because it's the only thing that the CW makes now that I actually like. But we'll see. Maybe this will pull through and it will survive. But it says Nextstar's executive VP and CFO recently shared that there may be no Warner Bros. Or CBS shows left on the CW in the near future. But a lot of the other content has been extremely bad. The Winchesters, it is a supernatural prequel that is just terrible. I tried to give it a chance because I did really like Supernatural. There is nothing of substance there. But they also had put a lot of time and money into very woke creations right around the time that they announced they were hoping to sell the company, like Batwoman. And we also had Naomi, two awful shows. This says, after collapsing ratings and a failed fan campaign, the CW scraps woke Batwoman show. It says season 3 posted an all-time viewership low with only 372,000 people tuning in for the 5th episode of the show. Its ratings in the 18 to 49 demographic also dropped to a .07 multiple times in the show's 3rd season, including the show's final episode. This is a major reason why a lot of people tuned out of the Arrowverse. A lot of people gave up on it. Season 1 released, it wasn't great, it wasn't as bad as seasons 2 and 3 though. And then the CW said, enough is enough, we are scrapping it. It couldn't even break 500,000 viewers throughout the 3rd season. And then they started creating things like Naomi. Ava DuVernay and the CW's Naomi continues to see its viewership numbers crash. This, again, was a terrible show. It was just a character who was obsessed with superheroes, and then we found out that she was stronger than even Superman. It says the executive producer and creator continues to see viewership for her, the CW show Naomi, crash week after week, with the show's 7th episode posting the worst ratings and viewership so far. Now, all of these shows have been canceled at this point. They've given up on all of them. But as it says, the show had seen its viewership declined by almost 400,000 individuals going from episode 1 to episode 6. That's 46.5%, very close to half the premiere's total viewership. Clearly, Nextstar is worried about the future of the CW. They don't know where they're going to go. They don't even know what shows they're going to continue airing. At this point, it seems like they are at the drawing board trying to rethink their strategies, because a lot of the shows that were popular, like the Arrow, Flash, they're all ended or they are ending. I mean, the Flash is about to get its final season. Arrow has already ended. And a lot of the actors probably won't come back for spin-off series, so only time will tell. But as you can see, the CW was losing $2 for every dollar it earned, and that is much worse than a lot of people expected. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.